Hello and welcome to Farming Simulator 19. I'm Andy and this is Let's Play on British farm, I guess. So we're mowing. So this is the field which I left longest. It has quite a lot of grass. I think it has more substance on it than, say, this one which wasn't they all were ready for harvest, but I think this looks like it has less grass on it than this one. So maybe it's important to let it grow as long as possible when it comes to mowing grass. Okay, so let's turn these on and we'll go drive around. So I have this set up so I can use the Joy2Key software to lift and lower these with just one button. So go like this, you press this, and we'll raise both of them. And opposite, when we start out here, just lower it, and we'll lower that one too. Could probably have a longer sequence in between these, but I'm experimenting with the timing things. But this is the plan for this episode. I'm just gonna mow grass, a lot of grass. This is the third field I'm mowing. This is probably the biggest field I have, so it will be interesting to see how much we get off this. Probably quite a lot. Wrong way. So if I'm driving fast, this timing seems pretty okay. So it's quite therapeutic, I think, to mow. I think I like it. Windrowing, not so much, but mowing is pretty okay. Move this around a bit. Could lower these individually, so could just lower that one and not the front one. Also raise that one, not the front one, if we wanted to. Okay, so. Ooh, stuttering. That doesn't usually happen. Farming Simulator. Interesting. Okay. So the tedious bit is going to be windrowing this and then collecting it with our. We're going to put this in a silo. So, and the third cut we're going to put that in bales. Otherwise, this is pretty much what I'm doing on this map currently. Not hilariously fun, but I like this. I think this is a cool setup. I think this works pretty easy as long as you're driving right hand laps. Drive left-hand laps too, but it's a bit trickier. like here. So simple to set it up. I mean, joystick is pretty simple to set up, and once it's set up you can actually do quite a lot of stuff with it, and it works nicely. So if you're not using joystick, I definitely recommend that. I probably keep coming back to joystick as a software, but I think it's brilliant, and it leans you, especially if you're running like a modern farm, it does reduce a lot of the pain you have to do otherwise of pressing a lot of buttons to do. I mean, this would be, to do this realistically you would have to press at least 2 buttons every, or 3, because of also the cruise control. I could probably set it up so it would do. I wonder if I could do that. Let's see. Just 2. I don't know, this probably doesn't work too well, but no, it doesn't. For some reason it doesn't engage the cruise control, which I can't figure out, but it doesn't. Which is a bit interesting. I'm thinking it should, probably. I mean, it doesn't take too long to even, I mean, this is quite a big field, and you mow it pretty fast. So you don't want the mower to go off the stuff we already cut, because they will just spin around and destroy it maybe. So not too much left here. You don't want to go down the second one to go too slow either, because you want to cut the grass, you don't want to miss a bit. I think this works out pretty okay. Might actually do some windrowing on this without a tractor, just so this episode will be something more than just me cutting grass. Swedish is called vall. I think that vall is probably the name of I'm not an expert in Swedish farming terminology, but it's vall is where you grow the grass. So this pasture, or this kind of area where you grow this sort of grass, is called a vall, and so it's called vallskörd, or vall harvest. Skörd is harvest. you go. So put these up, turn these off, pull this backwards so we can go through the gate there. We have 2 fields left, the one up there and the one down there after this field. But we are going to do some windrowing first. I think that could be fun. We'll grab this tractor. It wasn't hooked up, but it's before, so. Curious how to see how much you actually get of this field. I'm thinking we'll get quite a lot of grass off this field here. So let's see. I want to get everything, so if I want to cheat, I could do it from the outside. I don't have the widest windrower. It's sufficient for this. And it's pretty efficient time-wise too, so. Hit that? No, that one's okay. Missing a bit, but that's not too much. So our windrow will actually cover slightly more than our mower does, but using the mower area as seems to be a good guide. So we don't miss anything. It covers slightly more, as you can tell there, which means that every so few rows will cover more. $8 miles probably okay. Keep it sort of under control. I think 8 is probably okay for me. 8 miles seems I know where the edge is and I can keep track of both forward and backwards. I mean, you could go back and forth like this, but actually looked at it and I usually go like this. I don't go there full backwards. I don't need that. Like here somewhere. So this is gonna take a bit of time to use. So and I still have those other 2 fields, and then we have to collect this and bring it over to our silo, put it in the silo, we have to flatten everything, and then finally we can cover the silo. So then we'll have winter food for our animals. We also need to go sell off milk, because we have quite a lot of milk to sell off. So here's the tricky part when you go into the second row. I'm not very good at this, I must admit. Hit the fence, but I don't want to take up the other row either. Here you go. So it's slightly wider, so now suddenly I'm in between the rows, the mowing rows. Which was not the way I want to do this, but I guess it works. It's not that important as long as I get the stuff I need and I can gather it later. That's the whole point of this. I'm thinking, at least. So, and if you, I mean, the problem I did for years in Farming Simulator was that I went too fast with things. Was like, oh, I can drive this thing in 20 kilometers, I'll do that. The thing is that doesn't, it sort of leaves you missing some control aspects and makes you quite crappy at what you're doing. Then you make mistakes. So we're sort of going into more, well, we'll go at it a little bit slower and we'll get it done the first time around. Is the idea behind it, anyway. Still need to work on my turns though. Oh, okay, so I think if you look at the sort of pile we're doing, we're actually getting quite a lot of material off this field, which is good. I think we're gonna get more of this field than another one. So if we want, this was at a later harvest color. If you looked at the map, this was a later color, or darker shade of yellow, orange, whatever you want to call it. It's yellow, and it starts out with just yellow and then go into orange. So this was more orangey than yellow, but the other ones were yellow. So if you can wait to get this shade of yellow on the map, it seems that it will bring more, will give us more grass. But you don't want to wait too long, especially in the fall, because then it might disappear. Crop you want. That's not a problem in summer, first or second cut, because it won't die on you. It's grass, it's just stopped growing. It's going nice. I think 8 miles seems to be a good speed for this. So, and then we'll do the other fields after this, I think. So let's go here and there and everywhere. I've been playing a lot of Farming Simulator the last few weeks. I really like this. I mean, I had a period where I played a lot of Flight Simulator or X-Plane mostly. I pretty much only play X-Plane these days. I used to play Flight Simulator 2004 a lot, but I don't have that installed anymore. A bit sad, but well, X-Plane does it. It's cool. It works nicely, especially with like the Seaboom mod, which is an excellent 737 mod. Probably have to stop turning these things up here. So if you go straight here, And I'll lift this up and I'll turn this around. So that was okay. So I'll just go forward and backwards with the pickup forage wagon layer. So my tip, sometimes go slower. If you want realism, it's probably more realistic than going a bit slower than speeding down the field, trying to cover lots of ground. But sometimes we can understand why, because it's boring when you do things. But if it's boring, maybe you have too big of an operation, or you should use course play if that's possible on the map or that sort of thing. So makes it easier or less demanding, and you don't have to do as much. It's basically like hiring someone or having someone else on the farm that does it. And most farmers don't do things all alone. Some do, but I don't think a lot of farmers have help. So that's okay. It's okay to pretend you have help, even in Farming Simulator 19. That's my philosophy anyway. But on some farms like this one, I do everything mostly on my own. Well, actually, last time I did use hired help a bit for spreading slurry, so I could do it, but small farm, I'm thinking I'm doing mostly here on my own. How does it look from outside? Well, it's quite tidy roads, I think. That looks nice. I think this looks really nice. Well, I'm happy with this. I'm doing this nicely. I usually just go around in circles as far as I can. As long as I can. But you can choose to do that or not. Depending on how you want to do things. I mean, one thing here I could do, I could go up here, now I could swing around here and do this bit and do sort of like a U shape. You can do this as however you want to do it. When I U shapes, you can do U shapes. I decide, so I don't know if that's any. I had this colleague who, for a few years ago, he used to work summers mowing grass early before we worked together. And he said it was so boring mowing grass that you usually started making patterns in the grass. So when he mowed it, so he could make like a, sorry about the language here, but he could like make a gigantic well, personal thingy, if you get my drift. But I'm not going to do that here. I'm not going to do that in Farming Simulator, but you could, I guess, if you wanted to. So now we're going that way, and then we'll go backwards and forwards this way, all around the fields for a while. Remember, they've got to the point where you actually need to back up and stuff. So round and round we go. So So I'm done about 25 minutes episode, so we're gonna stop there and we'll see what we'll do next time. Maybe I'll build everything, or I will be bailing everything, I don't know, we'll see. Quite ahead in my schedule with Farming Simulator videos, so might have to do a lot of off-screen stuff in between here. Right, that's next time. I'm Andy. This has been a Let's Play on a British farm, which is sort of loosely mimicked after the Cotland farmer, so link is in the description to his channel, which is really nice if you like that sort of channel on YouTube. If you like this channel, please subscribe. If you like this episode, please hit the like button, leave a comment or share, and I will see you next time. Have a great day, everyone. Take care. Bye bye.